Well, guys, in what will shock none of you, we've got yet another I told you so moment, this time relating to lockdowns and how the costs far outweighed whatever little benefit people dreamt up. Of course, we all know there's no benefit to them, and instead they would cause endless damage that'll take years to arrive and decades to stop once it does. Over the months, more proof of this has actually come out, even though many studies pointed out years ago that lockdowns damage children in multiple ways.
In Europe, and I'd like to quote a paragraph, if I may, that they said that imperial study alleged that non-pharmaceutical interventions imposed by 11 European countries saved millions of lives. We show that their methods involve circular reasoning. The purported effects are pure artifacts, which contradict the data. Moreover, we demonstrate that the United Kingdom's lockdown was both superfluous and ineffective. I'm not saying this stuff is right. I'm just saying there's a growing body of work which is frankly taking apart imperials. And remember, we have spent £370 billion, which we will never get back, on lockdown. Moreover, a substantial number of other papers now question, not imperial per se, but the worth generally of lockdowns. A preprint article by 4 authors, The Effects of Non-Pharmaceutical Interventions on COVID-19, A Tale of Three Models, said the claimed benefit of lockdown appear grossly exaggerated. In another paper, 3 authors argue that, quotes, we find no clear significant benefit of lockdowns on case growth in any country. There are other papers that I say continue in that theme, but I'll quote one more because it's to do with adults living with kids. Remember, we shut schools because we were scared that kids would come home and infect older people who then die. Well, this paper in the BMG found no evidence, quotes, no evidence of an increased risk of severe COVID-19 outcomes. We shut down society, we shut down schools, just in case, doing extraordinary harm to the lives of people, especially young people. I'm not a lockdown skeptic, as Ferguson casually described some of his critics, but I'm becoming so. And do you know why, Mr. Chair? Because I read the evidence.
This should have seen them completely abandoned, but as I'm sure many know, they're actually planned to be used again in future. The precedent is there in many countries, and when the leaders are taken by fear porn or corrupt schemes, they'll go straight back to them for sure. They will also likely be used in some way for the climate con, but for now you can all sit there saying I told you so to any pro-lockdown nut that you might know. Unfortunately though, none of the scumbags who implemented these disastrous lockdowns will ever be punished for the damage they did, which is what really pisses me off the most. They've literally cost people their lives and livelihoods, and yet will swan off into the sunset with a shit ton of your money just to take the piss that little bit more.
You know, we can get on with our lives and
pandemic